Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for The Originals, Season 4, Episode 7, High Water and a Devil's Daughter. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Dom and Kim.
Hi. Hello.
Things I learned this episode.
Like what?
Two things. One, that Klaus is a heathen for liking O-positive blood.
Heathen.
And two, Elijah's a fucking psychopath.
Is he?
He's doing the justifies ends the means. Whatever he has to do to protect his family, as per usual, like he always does.
I mean, that's no different than when Freya's doing right now.
True.
It's no different what Klaus has been doing for 7 seasons.
Alright, yeah, you're right. It's just, I don't know, it seemed excessively brutal. It's like, here's 4 random girls I picked off the street. They're all witches. They're all dead now. It's like, do your little ritual, or they stay dead.
Temporarily. Yeah, they were temporarily dead.
Yeah, but Vincent had a really good point. Like, that's not how this works! That's not how any of this works.
He's not doing any different than he has been. It's just, yes, it's killing people now, but... Well, I can't say now. It's he's still doing... Overall, it's still the same process. Protect his family.
Protect his family. At all costs. Well, that's the other thing I learned this episode, that Klaus likes Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Sweet child of mine.
Indeed. So, I don't know where to begin. Like...
The beginning.
At the start.
At the start. Good old-fashioned barrier spell. Keep the good guys in, the bad guys out.
That's a matter of opinion.
That's a real...
Yeah, it depends on whose
right.
point of view you're looking at this from.
From a certain point of view, I gotcha. Seems to be somewhat effective, except it's driving Klaus absolutely fucking mad. So Elijah had the greatest idea. Take your frustrations out.
It's not like that, though, because he's got to maintain no killing, with his daughter in the house,
No killing. No blood. It's
no
like,
murder.
No murder. It's like, I think I'll eat out for dinner. Oh, my God. Nope, that's not going to work, Klaus. You're stuck inside. So why don't you go about destroying the jawbone? Because the Hollow can't use it if it's in a billion pieces.
Can he?
Easier said than done.
Theoretically. I think that's the theory.
Can she?
It.
Try to put it... It's a she, yeah.
Yeah, she. It is a she. Well, that is one really strong jawbone, because Klaus swinging with a sledgehammer, which I imagine is a lot of impact force, did nothing. I mean... Hell, a regular guy swinging with a sledgehammer. Kim swinging with a sledgehammer. Any of us here would be able to...
Kim's a regular guy?
Kim is a regular guy.
Last time I checked, I'm not a guy, but okay.
Anyway, any of us sitting here could pick up a sledgehammer and smash a mandible to dust. Like, not even breaking a sweat, but, I was expecting the hammer to explode, like something out of Lord of the Rings or some shit.
Hmm.
That's would be too easy.
Mm-hmm. That would be way too easy.
I say acid. Try some other means.
No.
Why not?
Magic.
Magic
explosives.
Yes, explosive magic.
I'm all for a vat of acid. Yeah. Light the fuse.
It's like putting Legos in acetone.
I'm trying to remember the name of the acid that strips calcium out of bone. That would work. Anyway,
here's the interesting fact I just thought, but we could save it to the end if we want to wait to...
Sure.
Now that we need a little emblem that we saw on the ghost.
Yeah, you can go into that if you want.
So, our ghost is a was a werewolf. So, I was wondering if you could take the jawbone and like bite somebody with it.
Now,
If it would work.
I have two theories going on here.
Probably not because it requires venom.
Right, there you go. No
Okay.
venom in a, 1,000-year-old skeleton that we know of. So, two theories I got going on here. Either what Kim just said, the ghost was a werewolf at some point in her life. Option 2, because Dom likes pointing this out, we have no idea where werewolves came from. She's where they came from.
Maybe.
That would be interesting.
'Cause
But
it was pitched
she had
out-
the symbol
Right, she had the symbol
of
on her...
the one set, though.
Right, she had the same symbol on her left shoulder that Haley and Hope have on their right shoulders. Now, obviously they did that to tease us and whatever, but I don't know. Like,
Maybe she's the first of that,
or she's the
Sex?
witch that created it.
or the other two.
Because it was pitched, I think, an episode or two ago that it was dropped that the Hollow used to be a really powerful witch at some point.
Right.
Which, apparently everybody in this show used to be a really powerful witch, or knows one.
Or is one.
Or is one.
Do we know how old the Hollow is?
Ancient is all we got.
Yes, yeah.
Are we sure it's ancient?
They've mentioned it a couple times, yeah.
It's been around for generations and generations and generations.
Because I feel like it's just an entity that gets passed on. The role of the Hollow gets passed on to.
You think it's a bigger source, and then it just picks a target or a
Kind of?
Host?
Or it's like a title.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a title.
I mean, that would explain why it looks and sounds like Davina.
Yeah.
Which,
Okay, good that I wasn't the only one that got
Yeah.
that.
No, that was definitely Davina at the end. 100%.
no, Nikki, who's missing from our fourth corner over there, is, she pointed it out to me at one point, and I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Davina.
100% the actress, her voice and her likeness, whether it actually is Davina, and,
Wouldn't that be
I just
funny
stopped.
that
My brain just stopped
if
itself.
Dom's
at,
theory is right, and that's the way that works, and so Davina is now the Hollow, and Vincent just gave Davina the power over the magic of the quarter.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
my other theory, and the reason I stopped mid-sentence and kind of went, I was thinking, don't be bringing more doppelganger bullshit back into this, please.
No, I don't think it's going that route.
well, the problem is though that there at the end when she's talking about it, she talked about the ancestors coming back into play and them being dangerous, and then she needed somewhere to hide, so she took stupid blonde
Sophia.
bitch's body. Is that her name? I don't know.
So it's Sofya, so Sophia, however.
She's the bitch I don't like.
Yep. I was kind of happy for a second. I thought Dom killed her, and I'm like, well,
Yeah, I killed her.
Yeah,
Totally killed her.
He killed her. It's like,
It was me.
whoa, going on an old vampire killing on a vampire here. Way
Yeah,
to
so-
go. And then it's like, moves his hand. It's like the dagger. I'm like, oh, that means she's not dead. In a world of eternal torment, but not dead.
I thought she'd stay that way a little while.
Yeah.
I hoped. That was my hope.
Well, that's the other thing we found out, that the Tunde blade is one of the 4 bones that she is looking for.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
So, Papa Tunde obviously knew it was a significant relic when he crafted it into that.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is it one of her bones, or is it... So obviously we noticed it kind of resurrects or does something like sort. It has power like that, so
Kind of curved like a rib bone.
it is a sharpened.
Yeah.
It is a modified rib bone. I don't know. Moving on, let's see. So, Hope decides to go Well, Klaus catches her playing in the attic with a whole bunch of toys and books and poems and stuff. It's like, did a little boy used to live here? And Klaus's face was like, I'm like, all right, yeah, Marcel.
He's technically still living here.
He's technically still living here. I'm like, okay, is he thinking about Marcel or is there someone else or whatever? And then it shows on the side of the chest Marcellus. I'm like, oh, she's playing with his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes downstairs and introduces herself.
She is one brave little girl. She's no fear at all. It's just like, hey, what's up?
I'm a Mikealson.
I'm awesome.
I fear nothing.
She was just like, I'm awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm seven, not stupid.
It literally had to be the best interaction I've seen from her. She's just like, it was just like, wow, okay. You're wise. You're acting way older than you are right now.
Mm-hmm. And, well, Marcel's about as good with kids as we all, I guess, expected him to be. Let me out.
Yep.
You know, she lets him out. He whisks her away, tells her to close her eyes and sing, which is apparently what Klaus used to tell Marcel when Klaus was about to murder people. And proceeds to murder people, and then keeps her company on a bench. Like, and Klaus is all like almost teary-eyed and all, you know, warm and fluffy feeling. Like, she called him her friend. Like, I'm gonna cry. Come on, that was the exact look on Klaus's face.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
it was giving me like Cammy flashbacks of the two of them on the bench.
Yeah. Where was I going? I was distracted for a second. So yeah, towards the end, Klaus tries to get all chummy with Marcel in kind of a mutually beneficial relationship kind of way. It's like, you hate me, I somewhat hate you, but there's a bigger pain in the ass we gotta deal with. So, that's gonna either go really well or really badly. Not exactly sure which yet. Both. So, as I mentioned...
The fights the whole time.
Yeah.
Stupid shit.
Petty bickering, all that stuff. So, earlier I mentioned that Elijah was a psychopath. So, Elijah's whole train of thought, after talking with Vincent in what I think was the church, the ancestors were the only thing keeping the Hollow at bay, apparently. So, why not restore their link and ask for their help? Now, this goes badly for Elijah as he starts bleeding from the eyeballs and then his head does a 180 practically. But
because they're not big fans of them.
Oh,
They're
really
just
not?
crying blood. No big deal.
No, it's just two guys like, you know, Vincent, what's happening? He's like, they're pissed off. That's what's happening, you fucking idiot. It's like, you came to their city, you fucked with their way of life, you broke their link, now you show up with 4 random girls you picked off the street, slit their throats with a dagger, and are asking for their help. You think they're going to be happy about this?
I don't even get the point. Like, what was the point of the sacrificing the 4 girls? Like, what was it
something to do
supposed
with
to
the
accomplish?
spell. It's supposed to be. It's a
They were trying to
harvesting thing.
Yeah, he was trying to force Vincent to do the harvest ritual. That kind of was the cause of a lot of the drama back in season 1.
Right, but I thought that had to be done with, like, young witches, not just, like, 4 random people.
They were witches.
They were witches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he mentioned they were 4 female witches from, you know, the covens or whatever, but they weren't chosen. You know, Elijah just picked them at random.
Mm-hmm.
All I could think was, Vincent, why did you just leave Elisha with the dagger like a dumbass? Like, have you not learned?
Clearly not.
Learned?
He hasn't. He really hasn't. Maybe now. I don't know. It took
Probably not.
It took a little bit of grave desecration, breaking Davina's grave open, stealing her skull, and forming some other kind of spell to make the whole thing work all, well. See, I don't know how I see this going, because, Davina, like we said, was mentioned, is now the conduit for all of the ancestral power. She's basically the link. And it's looking like she is the Hollow.
I still don't know. There's mixed thought
I mean, we know the
process.
Hollow can take on other forms, so there's that.
Yes.
But I feel like it is Davina right now. Like, it's actually Davina.
Mm-hmm.
But then why would she be hiding from herself?
I don't think she's hiding from herself now that she has power.
She literally she said that was the big conversation at the end, was she said, they brought the ancestors back. I need to hide to protect myself, and that's when she took over Sophia, whatever.
Yeah, because the ancestors weren't big fans of Davina, especially considering she broke the link. I think they would still not be fans of her.
Well, then maybe the ancestors are the only ones who can stop the Hollow.
Maybe.
That's why she's still hiding.
Possible.
But Davina now has the ancestors' magic, so I don't know.
Yeah, who the hell knows? I have no idea where this is going. All I know is that this is probably gonna how they're gonna bring Alaric in, because at one point, well, I'll get to this. Back it up here. Freya's whole thing that she was doing this episode. Freya was hunting Dominic, because she's walking down the street all merrily, and then she sees him also walking down the street all merrily. Like, my brother tore your heart out and threw you, from the second story into the courtyard. You're walking around fine.
That he was being burned in a garbage can.
Right, and they threw your body in a dumpster fire that they probably set. So yeah, gotta work on that one there.
Just slightly.
Just slightly. So her plan is take Josh, drag him under a tarp out of the bar to make it look like she's moving Marcel, because everybody knows they have Marcel captive and she spelled the whole thing. And yeah, this was a really complex trap, like, very well executed, and I applaud. Because I was like, what the fuck was the point of this trap if it's not going to work? But, sets a ring out of branches, Dominic can't perform magic in the circle. I changed, Josh, you now look like Marcel, which was absolutely hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he started, like, oh.
It's like, do I have time to make the 1,000 jokes I have about being in this body? Anyway. Yeah, there he is laying unconscious, like, okay, when he steps into the circle, get out of it as quick as possible. And that's the plan. But then Dominic walks in and dispels the illusion, and I'm like, what the fuck is the point of what the hell is that falling from the... Oh, you had another ring hanging... Oh, clever girl. Not so clever when you force blast him out of it like a fucking Jedi, but,
Yeah. Well, that's because he hit a nerve.
Yeah. He threatened her new girlfriend. They were supposed to be meeting for drinks. But instead, she's dealing with his evil ass.
Yep. And now she feels vulnerable.
And that leads to them making out in the middle of the street. Which,
I don't understand Freya. I don't understand her at all.
I think we've all called that for like 5-6 episodes now.
Oh, yeah.
Just took a lot longer than I expected. But yeah, I don't get her. It's like, you got a sure thing going here. Keelan has made it quite obvious. The only reason she's staying in New Orleans when she's not from there or ever lived there is for you. So you're gonna blow her off. Like, not, she's offering to help you save your family. Nah, fuck you. I'm gonna go do it myself.
Yeah. Well, she's a typical Mikealson.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's used to doing everything herself, so she doesn't want to get other people involved, and she's all like, I got this, I don't need your help. And then it was she felt that whole feeling that then she became a weakness for her, and she didn't want that. So
And Mikealsons can't have weaknesses. Are you crazy? We must destroy all the white oak.
Yeah, now they got the thorn bush was cultivated pretty epically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough for Dominic to make a steak wrapped in those thorns.
When did they find out that exist? Because they were talking about it, and I was like, how do you...
Last episode.
Yeah,
was
last
it?
episode.
I don't remember it.
She held the bracelet up against Klaus's throat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I
told him
guess I don't remember that.
Yeah.
this was grown with his blood, so it can kill you.
Yep.
Yeah. So speaking of Dominic, he gets blasted out of the circle, then proceeds to kill Freya, which, I mean, I 99% knew wasn't going to be a permanent death, but there was that little, like, what if whispering in the back of my head, like, this isn't like a mid-season break or anything crazy. Did they just kill off a major character? What the fuck? Well, killing her broke the boundary spell, so, hey, I'm gonna walk into the compound and, you know, cause some mayhem and wreck up the place, and, hey, I'm gonna kill Klaus while I'm at it.
Try to kill Klaus.
Yeah, he made the one mistake you don't make with Klaus, and that is threaten his daughter.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, because you're going to wind up with objects rammed through your torso, and then your head's going to fly across the room. I'd like to see him...
Very dramatic. That happened really quick. It was just like, bam, bam.
It was just bam, bam, like gone, done, dead. Now...
Where's Pebbles?
I was waiting for that.
Are you going to survive this time?
Yeah, I'd like to see him come back from that, because he survived, you know, major organ removal, dropped down a flight of stairs, and, actually not a flight of stairs, just dropped off a balcony, and burned in a dumpster. He survived that. So now...
Well,
no big deal.
He didn't survive that. They brought him back.
Right, okay.
No big deal.
Just
Anybody could do that.
So now what... Yeah. Klaus removed his head. That's got to be pretty permanent right there.
Is it?
No. Well, now that the Hollow's infested, you know, the blonde bitch nobody likes, maybe not. Maybe she found a new high priestess.
Who's a vampire?
It's Vienna.
Woo! Yeah, something like that. So I'm missing something here. I know I am. But for the life of me, I can't remember what it is.
Mystic Falls. Where
was
I'm
it. I was
currently,
going that way.
where I'm currently residing. I'm in Mystic Falls instead of New Orleans right now.
Mm-hmm. So in Freya's interrogation of Dominic, she discovers a name that I didn't write down because I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, it is the name of a clan of werewolves whose last descendant, or last, you know, living person, died a couple years ago under dubious circumstances. Whoop, turn the laptop around and, oh look, it's Mr. Poopface himself, Tyler Lockwood.
Yep. Now, is this the same werewolf clan that Freya's girlfriend's from?
No. She's from the Melro clan, I think, or something like that. Hers began with an M.
Yeah,
So this is another werewolf clan that is extinct.
That is now extinct.
But they somehow just recently found a member to make the werewolf venom cure before Tyler, after Tyler died.
It's
What?
I
possible
thought they got that before. He
it's
died.
possible she got that before Tyler died.
Okay.
It's probable, even. So yeah, so Tyler's family was apparently entrusted with protecting a relic, a bone, that the Hollow needs. And as I was mentioning about 8 minutes ago now, this is how they're going to bring Alaric into the show. Because we knew.
Because I'm sure that Alaric has all of that stuff now.
Well, because they said the bone is in Mystic Falls, so means they're going to go looking for it. So it does not look like Alaric is coming to New Orleans, but it looks like at least it's fair to say that Elijah is going to Mystic Falls.
And I just realized, oh wait, that's right. They mentioned Alaric's coming in on episode 8. Well, that's what next week's episode is, episode 8.
Yep.
Derp.
Yep. So, with that, do you think we're going to see any other cameos, or do you think it's just going to be Alaric?
Alaric is the only one they've teased at us. Now, I'm hopeful.
It depends on how much they're in Mystic Falls, I guess.
We're obviously not getting Elena, we're not getting Damon, we're not getting Stefan. Those are obvious ones that we're not getting. But as far as Matt Donovan goes, I could totally see Mr. Donovan showing up.
I can't remember Alaric's helper.
Dorian?
Julie? Dorian.
I could get him too.
Dorian's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it would seem that Alaric has his hands on the relic. And I don't know who else we get, because if you watch the promo, the 17 seconds of it for next week, it shows Alaric... I think it shows Alaric shooting at Sophia in the middle of the street. Or, a.k.a. the Hollow. So, like to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah, so maybe Alaric is going to New Orleans. Or the Hollow is following them to Mystic Falls.
Well,
I don't know.
It was the middle of like that random stretch of highway in the woods that they've always used in every season of the Vampire Diaries. Like the road out of town or whatever.
The one road
out
of town.
That one road, yeah. Anyway, while we're talking about it, next episode is called Voodoo in My Blood. So, after being summoned by the ancestors, Haley and Klaus travel to the ancestral world and come face to face with Davina, Klaus's former foe and the one person who holds the secrets to the Hollow's demise. Probably because she is the Hollow. Anyway, hopefully they'll clarify that. Meanwhile, old wounds are reopened when Elijah and Marcel are forced into an uneasy alliance. Together they meet up with Alaric, who has tracked down a crucial artifact that could help in their fight against the Hollow.
Yep.
Now, if you do watch the promo, there's Davina talking to Haley and Klaus, and she says, Klaus asks, the pretty obvious question, how do we defeat it? How do I defeat it? And she says, you don't. She does. And it looks at Haley and says, you're the only way to stop it.
Yeah.
See, I think it has something to do with her clan, because of the symbol.
Yeah. So, in terms of the Vampire Diaries now, this is taking place after the finale episode, but before the last, 5 minutes of the episode.
Yes. Because the last 5 minutes of that episode were assumed to be 70-something years in the future or something ridiculous.
Right. Because it was supposed to be like their life, them dying and then going to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they draw,
I'm assuming this is even before the flashback where Caroline gets the letter from Klaus. Because that wasn't that far into the future, because Jeremy was still Jeremy age. Alaric was not old at that point. So I feel like this is going to be the moment, and then we're probably going to get a comment about Caroline from Alaric here if we don't end up seeing her. And then Klaus will have to mention something about Caroline and probably say something about writing a check.
And you know what? Yeah, Elijah is going up there. He'll probably find out some info from Alaric, drop it with Klaus, like, oh yeah, Alaric's, teaching supernatural things, how to survive and stuff at a school. And Caroline is helping out and all that stuff, and Klaus is probably like, oh, I'm going to cut a nice fat check.
Yep.
That's a noble undertaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because watch Hope have to go to that school someday.
Why do I have the feeling that Hope can, just, if she concentrates, make a small nuclear explosion happen?
Probably. That's why Alaric's going to need to help her.
Mm-hmm. She looks at Marcel and it's just like, I'm a lot more powerful than people get, and just, pulls the bracelet off, and it's like, okay, so are the walls going to cave in or some shit? What's happening here?
Like a whole, flex of power.
Mm-hmm.
Would love to see Alaric cross over permanently onto this show.
Now that the other show is done, they can do that. They can easily do that.
I mean, that's if Mr. Matt Davies wants to come over and do it. So
Now, the Vampire Diaries was filmed in Georgia. Is Originals filmed at the same place?
no,
It's
No,
not.
they're in
they're in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
They are actually in New Orleans.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not far, really.
If you had to drive it, you'd probably think it was. But I mean, it is by no means far.
Yeah. I mean, if they're shooting in Mystic Falls with the Lark, they flew them down there.
Yeah. Definitely so.
Like, they film on location, so they're not going to be able to be like, oh, we're in some weird part of Mystic Falls that kind of looks like New Orleans that you've never seen before. No, they're going to go down to Mystic Falls.
I was just thinking for, like, convenience sake for, like, the actors or whatever, like, you know, I don't know.
I'm saying, like, they're going to go down to Mystic Falls like it's a real place. No, they're going to Virginia, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that's everything, though. I think we covered the whole episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not too much action, except for Dominic's head flying across the room, but... I don't know. I want some clarification, because now I'm actually interested.
He'll be back.
Huh?
He'll be back.
Yeah. Probably. Nobody stays dead in these fucking shows.
It's
No.
it's a soap opera.
Every CW... Yeah, you know what? You're right, except they don't have to come up with some bullshit, like, convoluted explanation as to why the guy who got shot in between the eyes is not dead.
Yeah.
Like, on the soap opera. Here, they just say it was magic.
That's because it's an easy out.
It is an
Like,
easy out.
Well, they explain it fairly well every time, even though it is magic. It's still...
It
not like-
uncomplicates the storytelling.
It's not like a soap opera where, like, some guy will die and then, like, 6 months later you'll see him crawling out of the dirt. Like, you're like, wait, what?
How did you
Crawling out
survive?
of the dirt.
I've actually seen that in, like, a preview for a soap opera. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. They do all kinds of crap.
How?
It's like that was my evil twin or some shit.
It's like the guy who died and then he got shot, whatever, he got died, they buried him in the backyard or whatever, and then he crawled out and, like, hid for 6 months, and they were showing you, like, you know, so it's not like he was in the ground for 6 months, but he escaped and went to die. I don't know. I don't fucking watch those things.
Now that I'm grown and have a slightly firmer grasp on the world than I did as a child, I am extremely disappointed because there are far less evil twins in the world than soap operas prepared me for.
How many soap operas did
I
you
was like,
watch?
good to say. I'm like, how many did you watch?
Not many.
I had
But
was
just-
stuck one because my mom was always the one,
But
and my mom always watched
TV shows and, you know, pop culture and stuff like that had me believing when I was like 8 years old that there are a lot of evil twins out there, and someday I may be in a logical battle with someone with a gun pointed at me and my evil twin.
The only one that my mom watched when I was growing up was a certain one that a certain Jensen Ackles may have been a part of. And she actually remembers the character too, which was funny because I showed her the clip.
The
They
babyface
do-
Jensen Ackles.
Yeah.
My mom, General Hospital. My mom knows every character that's ever been on that show at any given time. That's not, just like, oh my god.
I was,
Yeah. No, my mom was obsessed with Days of Our Lives. Obsessed with it.
oh my god. Trying to think. I can't remember the soap opera that my mom always watched. I think it was General Hospital. I don't know. Anyway, back on topic. Then that topic is that's our show. Dom, where can they find you?
You can find me down below. Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM.
Kim, where can they find you?
Also on Twitter is at HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
You can find me on Twitter at Thilligen, not spelling it. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube. When I try to spell things quickly, I get tongue-tied. Facebook, Gmail,
why
Google+,
spell it
MySpace, YouTube, Facebook. Lots of places.
Still can't spell.
I cannot. At ASOTV Podcast.
You can spell that.
That's easy. You can follow... You threw me off. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games.
Heavy sigh.
Heavy Sigh, thank you all for watching, and have a lovely night.
How do you spell heavy sigh?
Heavysigh.
Pasta.
I saw the sigh.
Opened up my
It
eyes.
opened up my eyes.